tell you this, young man. I don't want no trouble, and I don't need no shovel. I can dig it, I can dig it. And if you don't want no old school, baby, I won't hold you. I can dig it, I can dig it. I don't want no trouble, and I don't need no shovel. I can dig it, I can dig it. And if you don't want no old school, baby, I won't hold you. I can dig it, I can dig it. Hey, come on.
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
Hey,
we back.
we're back.
If you don't remember, we had a show called Like Father, Like Son.
Like father, like son.
All right. So we, got a lot going on, but decided we're gonna sit down and start talking some more stuff. How you been, Dad?
Oh, I've been, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Met a new friend.
Met a new friend?
Yeah, named Arthur.
Yeah. y'all, some of y'all know Arthur very well as well. He's known out there in some of the streets
As Arthur. And Arthur is AKA arthritis.
Boom, there it is. So we came, paid you a visit, decided to hang out a while.
Yeah, and I had to figure out what it was because it was Arthur to me.
It was Arthur and you. I feel.
So I ended up doing a little bit of getting some physical therapy, and that's really helped like 110%. And I'm good now.
Yeah.
Right now I'm good. We'll see how this holds him off any.
I
don't want any more visits, but
I feel you. I don't want none at all. They used to tell me, don't crack your knuckles because that's gonna make you have arthritis when you grow up. I cracked my knuckles a lot, so I'm scared. I don't do it too much anymore, but I don't want none of these.
Well, I didn't crack mine at all.
Oh,
I couldn't.
All right, there it
So-
is. Wait, you couldn't? You didn't know how?
Right.
Wait, did you? Because I remember I don't know how to whistle, and when I was a kid, I felt like you could whistle, but then can you whistle?
A little bit. See, what you remember as whistling was really more of a real quick, a short burst.
And you know what? As an older man, I can definitely see that, and I'm like, I was definitely fooled because I was like, I know I've heard him whistle, and it was great. But I can't whistle, and people think it's weird. I think it's weird because singer, and play instruments, and it's like a saxophone in particular, and it's like people say if you could do that, you should definitely know how to whistle. I can't. I can whistle one note, and it doesn't change. So only thing you can recognize is the beginning of Jingle Bells.
Well,
I'm terrible.
yeah, I can do a little bit more than that, but it's really just in short bursts. Like, dashing through the snow. That kind of way.
And then a lot of mine just comes out as breath. I can't even. Man. Okay. So I know when we were first doing episodes, we were talking about just kind of a lot of things with it. Like I remember we talked about what it was like to be 17, different things, us growing up and the comparisons, and we're still going to talk about stuff like that. But we're also going to talk about a few deeper things because we're Dudleys and that's what we do. You feel me?
Don't worry, it's just a Dudley thing.
It's just a Dudley thing. I'm telling you, even the Dudleys we don't know already know. It's a Dudley thing. It's just my thing. It's cool. So what was the first thing that you... now, I'm going to let y'all know, I have a few different podcasts and a bunch of projects happening. So when it came back to this particular show, I kind of gave my dad the reins. I was like, all right, Pop, what you want to talk about? So I'm running with him. I'm just letting y'all know, just in case I seem clueless, because before the camera came on, he had to explain something to me. so I just wanted to put that out there. But I do have input on all this stuff. But so what was our first topic again? Preachers. All right. And I'm going to say the same thing as I said. What about preachers? Because this could go in any direction. So which way you want to go?
Well, this is the way I want to go. I grew up with looking at preachers and diverse preachers or pastors, because I my first few years in grade school, I was in North Carolina, and we had AME Zion Church, which is real black, and then we do the whole Sunday afternoon thing with picnics and other churches and all that 9 yards. But then when we moved with my dad out west here, went to the chapel on the base in Moses Lake, and it was different. I mean, the pastor was white, and it was actually kind of fun. But the music was different. Everything was different.
Wait, let's go back real quick. So you said it was actually kind of fun. Do you mean like it was like kid friendly?
Yeah.
Okay, now but for where you were from, it was just church.
Yeah.
Okay, there wasn't no kid friendly. It was just look,
Right.
we in here.
Right.
Okay. Just real quick off top, that reminds me of Ebenezer versus Celebration Foursquare. They had a kid friendly centered focused thing there. So off top I could see how that's a change.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So, and the pastor was a guy that was a friendly guy, and you looked at you kind of held him in awe.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, as I got older, the pastors were mainly all black, and they were not all the same, and they were not all kid friendly, and they were not all people friendly.
Mm-hmm.
But I still held them up to a higher. But I'm wondering now, as I look back and I look on present day, are we expecting too much of these dudes? And dudettes, because they, after all, are only human. I mean, stealing money, committing fraud, having affairs with men and women. That's what it's come to, but it may have always been like that.
You know, you said maybe what it's come to. I am a firm believer that that's what it's always been. I think just like with police killings, back then versus now, it's way more visible. Whether it's carelessness or, more eyes in different directions on you. But I do think that we hold them in too high of esteem and regard, because yes, that it's just what you said. They're people, you know what I mean? And people make mistakes, and people have faults, and people choose to do wrong things. So when what it looks like it's come to, you got all these, not all, because I can't say all, but some of these big pastors that get caught up in these scandals or whatever, and people are so outraged. And I'm like, bro, that was just a person. That was just a person. Like, who did you think they were? But I guess if you spend enough time going to church enough, you can be convinced that somebody is who they're not. But I don't know. I do think we hold them in too high. But I get there has to be a respect thing, and I get that. That's the in these terms, the man of the house or woman of the house. I get that there has to be a respect there that you're supposed to have towards them, but and maybe I'm just one. Like I get you got a job, but be real. Don't be no sucker. Don't do no dumb stuff. Like, we see you. So.
But that's part of the issue too, because we may see you, but there's a whole bunch of folks that don't see.
That's true. And then you look like the crazy one, or the one that's
right, the one that's off their rocker, the one that isn't Christian or whatever.
Yeah. And yeah. Because at that point, it's just like You throw in the towel as far as where you're at, physically at a place, or do you keep on fighting that fight? First of all, fighting is tiring. So that can get old fast. Fighting in church, that just makes more wedges from what's already there, all of the mess that's there. So I just be like, whatever, bro.
Well, one thing that doesn't work for sure is being a rock, being a tree, and saying, you know what? Whatever the way the wind blows, I'm sturdy, it's cool.
You said that's not?
That's not.
Okay.
That's not. Because all that brings is more divisiveness. Although not unintentional, it does. Just because you won't say yay and you won't say nay. You just say, hey.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about somebody who's staying neutral?
No, that's not.
Or somebody who just won't change
someone
their...
whose roots are strong enough
Okay.
to withstand the BS.
Wait, okay, then I'm a little confused. Somebody whose roots is strong enough to stand the BS.
Uh-huh.
But you're saying that's not what's cool in the situation?
I'm saying that it doesn't seem to help the situation.
It doesn't seem to help the situation to stand firm in what you're believing in?
Yeah.
How does that correlate? What do you mean it doesn't help? Oh, man, I'm confused now. Oh, boy. All right. Never mind. I'm going to rewatch this, and I'm going to figure this out and to do a side video. But at the end of it, yes, I do think that we hold them in too high. Again, I think there needs to be reverence, there needs to be respect, but we have to remember that these are just people. Moses was just a dude. He messed up too. So
they
you
all
can't
messed
hold
up.
it. Yeah, everybody actually. I don't know why I'm trying to pick when everybody messes up. So we cannot put them on this pedestal like they can't, because they do, and then your feelings is hurt. So it's like, keep the respect, but you ain't gotta put them on a pedestal. That's my opinion. My opinion alone. But yeah, that's how I feel on that.
Yeah. Well, I just think they all suck MCs. Those that are doing wrong, being wrong, and staying wrong, ain't got no.
That was a bar.
Yeah.
Doing wrong, being wrong, staying wrong. Sucker MCs in the AMC. What are we? Wait. AME. Sucker MCs in the AME. If you're doing wrong, being wrong, staying wrong, we don't want it.
Yeah.
I'm with that. All right. Let's move on right along. We're talking about the pro athletes. And were you meaning pro athletes or anybody in the spotlight?
I think anybody in the spotlight.
Okay. And when it comes to, okay, hold on. Timestamp. Oh man, I don't know what the timestamp is. Dang it, I should have been timing this. Okay, I'm gonna edit this part out. Wait. I just realized I don't necessarily want to say COVID or vaccination because that gets a flag on your video. We have to talk around it.
Does the pandemic get anything on it?
Yeah. I mean, we can say, gosh, because they really do flag that shit. Role models, and you know what? Okay, we can say vaccination. Just don't say COVID or Corona or anything like that. All right, time back in. Sorry. So like role models, people in the spotlight, and when it comes to things like getting vaccination, what are your thoughts? Because the way that it's all rolling out is that they want people to get vaccinated, and they're doing just like they do with everything they want to sell or publicize. They get the stars to endorse it. So at that point, they're being a model for this. They're a role model for that. I have different feelings on that whole engine on how it works, not just for vaccination, but anything really, and them using the stars to promote it. But what are your thoughts on that? Is it should athletes, let's use athletes for right now, be like the spotlight people, the spokespeople for getting vaccinations?
I really don't. I don't think. I agree with you that it's wrong to do that, to roll them out as models in order to get something done, regardless of what it is. But I think that a lot of, for example, athletes do themselves and athletics a negative by showing their ignorance.
Okay. Okay.
And what by that I mean, like, for example, the retired Hall of Fame basketball player John Stockton, a good supporter, a firm supporter of his former school, Gonzaga University. Gives money, has season tickets to the basketball game, that kind of thing. And they asked him, because of the state mandate about being in public places, at public things, to wear a mask, and he has refused to do so for 2 years. Then he goes on a podcast and states that over 150 athletes have been killed by the vaccine, which is totally crazy and just out there. But he did damage to people who I think follow pro basketball by saying such a thing. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely think, first of all, nobody should talk. First of all, let me just step outside vaccination talk. Nobody should get on an official. No, I can't say that because I'm building a platform too, and that's what I do. I don't know. Yeah, if you talking on important things like vaccination and people are looking at you, looking for your opinion, and they're going to hold it in high regard, I feel like you should know what you're talking about if you're going to make such bold statements, whether it's vaccination or anything, really. Them bold statements, you should really have a firm grasp on what it is you're talking about. Now with that, I don't like if a pro athlete chooses to get vaxxed or not. To me, I'm like, listen, make your choice. I don't care, because I'm not gonna have someone. I'm going to choose if I take it or not. You know what I mean? So I'm like, have that same. That's on you. Now, yes, there are consequences and all these things as far as professionally, because there are rules to this. So they got to deal with that. But if they make that choice, that's on them, and I say more power to you. I don't like how they get ostracized, though. Like Kyrie Irving. I'm not gonna lie. I have not paid all of the attention, just a little bit. But Kyrie Irving, Aaron Rodgers, to my knowledge, they was like, I don't want to do this. Aaron Rodgers, I paid a little more attention. I didn't like the way he did his, but Kyrie Irving, I don't believe it. I don't want to take it. I'm like, yo, that's his right. I didn't like how he was ostracized in the media. He was like, well, you just gonna leave your team hanging. This ain't about the team. Like, I don't like that stuff. So again, that's why I'm like, I don't think that people in the public eye should be role models for important society things. I'm Charles Barkley with it. What did he say back in the 90s? I am not a role model. Anything less would be uncivilized.
And,
different commercials.
And that, and that was after he threw the dude through the window.
Hey, man. Charles Barkley, man. I don't feel like I put enough respect on the man's name. Because you know what? I used to really like Charles Barkley. And then he just kind of faded from my man. Then he came back as an old dude who was yelling at people. But I kind of like it now. As I get older, I feel him. I feel you, Chuck. He was falling asleep during something, talking with somebody with some important thing, and he was falling asleep, and it was only him and the other person there. I was like, that's an old black man. He was like, I am not interested. I am falling asleep over here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I you know what, I agree with that. I think everyone should have a choice, and obviously, I think Aaron Rodgers missed a game or something because he refused, and then he failed the test. So, but
he said I'm immunized. I hate that. Is white privilege to me. That was I don't. He was like, did you get the vaccine? I'm immunized. So everybody was just like, okay. That didn't mean anything. That just means my immune system's good. That's all that means. Actually, I don't know that. Yeah. I made that part up too. But he never said he was vaxxed, and people just kind of took that with like, yeah, but he said something. Yeah. I hated that.
Yeah. And Kyrie, I look, I'm sorry. Kyrie, for me, is one of those brothers that you need to say, come on, brother, come on, man. And take him aside and give him some knowledge. Because the world is not flat. We're not going to fall off the edge, brother.
Wait a minute. Don't do this because I would listen. I'm not saying America, Father. I'm not saying that I think the world is flat. I'm not saying that. I just have questions.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But he does.
Yeah, this is true. But so does Shaq. So does Shaq.
Yeah, but he's real tall with a big old head.
He saw it up there. He's like, I fly private. I don't see it.
But Kyrie he's paying for what he stood up for.
Yeah.
He's paying for that, but it's also costing his teammates.
See, but in the whole grand scheme of things, I'm going to be honest. Okay, and this is just my opinion because I don't know Kyrie. I don't know his whole situation. But listen, I like to play basketball. He's getting a little older. Nobody's really checking for him. Hopefully he saved his money. Hopefully he's good on a financial tip. I feel like the team is the last thing on his mind as far because if he is dead to right serious that, listen, I don't want to get this vaccine because I think X, Y, Z. If he's that serious, that means he ain't going to do it. That means his team, he ain't concerned what y'all think. I'm concerned about my life. So at which point I'm like, people's like, the team's suffering. I'm like, man, the team can kiss my ass. How about that? But that's my opinion.
And I would agree to that, except for he is the one that went out and recruited that team for them. And now they're his teammates are the ones now that are going, nigga.
I feel you.
That's what I mean.
Okay, no, and again, I don't have all the details on it. I didn't know he recruited him. But then he could fall back on, we wasn't in the pandemic when I had recruited y'all. We got new information. But yeah, and I think athletes, again, just like preachers, athletes are just people.
Yeah.
They just people
that can do one specific thing really good.
That's the one thing that I think, Mom told me that, what Grandpa had told her. Because, my grandfather, jazz musician, hung around the greats, was one of the greats. And he had told her when she was young and she would see people, he was like, listen, that is just a person that does something very well. Don't treat them like they are the greatest thing ever. She got that lesson as a kid. And so luckily I have, been lucky enough to be in the midst of a few great names. And but I got that lesson that people are just people and everybody has a skill somewhere. It just happens that they have more eyes on them, so I've always kept that in mind to keep grounded. But if if I had went to a Michael Jackson show, it might be different. I might have said, Michael! I ain't gonna lie. Could happen. But other than that, I'm pretty grounded. You know, they're just people that have a great talent, you know? So you don't have to put them on this, again, pedestal that you're eventually going to knock them off anyway.
Yeah, for real.
And again, why I also used to say I should have been a child of Motown, because I that's the kind of famous I want to be. Famous, and they let you live until you didn't. Not today's famous, where they build you up just to knock you down. That's whack.
Build you up, Buttercup, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Just to let me down.
I just did a video. Did you see my video about the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups with the chips? What are your thoughts on that?
I hate chips in there.
Wait, what? Have you had it before?
It doesn't matter because I don't like chocolate. And chocolate and peanut butter and chips in it too? Oh, no!
Wait, you don't like chocolate? You don't like peanut butter or chips?
Oh, I like peanut butter.
I was about to say, you don't like peanut butter?
Look, the only place peanut butter belongs is on a piece of bread with some jelly over it.
Hey, I'm with you.
Some grape jelly.
Hey, see, y'all out there thinking I'm crazy because I don't like strawberry jelly.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying. Strawberry jelly is whack.
The only place strawberries belong is on a bowl of Frosted Flakes.
No, they don't even need that. That can get out of here. I don't like Okay, I'll take strawberries in Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tart?
Hey, you the one that used to force feed us cream of wheat. You can't talk about breakfast foods. What was with you and cream of wheat?
It was easy. And it wasn't grits.
It might as well have been. Well, why couldn't we have oatmeal?
Blasphemy.
Oatmeal's so good.
Ooh. Well, you know what? All the breakfasts is like that to me.
Oh man, cream of wheat. Y'all don't understand, man. Cream of wheat's gross, and that's all. That's all he gave us. So in the morning, it was whack. But that's okay. Oh man. Okay. What was the last thing? I don't remember. What the other one
Black
was.
business. Black business.
Black business. Hey. So I got a black business.
Well, first, let me give you because you may not know your history. You know, you come from a family of hustler mentality.
Come on, man.
You come from a family of folks who have been in black business for years.
Preach.
As far back as I can remember. Now, when I was a little boy in Asheville, North Carolina, growing up, my mom would always take a cab. We'd take a cab everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. And I just thought it was because it's how people rolled. Except for the times you rode in the bus, you took a cab.
Okay.
Well, it turns out the cab that we were getting in were owned and operated by my granddad and one of his brothers, called Black Top Cabs, a black businessman. They're on Eagle Street in North Carolina, and I remember it to this day because we'd always go by there. I didn't know why, but now I know that's why.
Nice.
Now we get out west out here, and my dad starts a restaurant for my mom because she was a good cook, and everybody was always buying her stuff anyway. So over there on 15th and Pine was Mina's Cafe. Had a steady clientele for about 2 years. That was my mom. Now, I started D-Force Productions out of high school, which was a production company, and we just threw gigs, through live music, comedians, plays, whatever, fashion shows. Then my sister Thalia started a clothing business, and she sold clothes and sold them through fashion shows and whatnot that I help arrange. And then my brother William started a computer hardware company.
Yeah.
He worked for someone maybe up until about 5 years out of high school. Then he started his company after going to college, and he never worked for anybody else again.
I'm with it.
His daughter has multi businesses
Raven,
going.
we're not gonna. You didn't call everybody's name, so I gotta say it.
Raven has what is
She got the bouncy houses. She has
a tax service.
She photo like chair things. Cleaning cleaning business.
And her brother Rolando had a Mr. Move It, Mr. Chop Down Trees kind of business thing going.
Yep.
And
Romeo, he is a personal trainer in basketball. He does that area. I'm sorry, Rome. I didn't mean to mess that up. Then you got me.
And also cousin Bobby had his own a keto boxing school.
Oh yeah.
And his parents had a trucking company back in East Orange, New Jersey.
See?
So this whole side of the family has always been and dabbled in, as far as I know, going back at least 3 generations in business, in black business.
Yeah, we out here. I said it's a Dudley thing. That's what we do. Nah, I love it, and I'm not gonna lie. I am, as I get older, I found out. For those of y'all that don't know, I quit my job about 3 months ago now, to work for myself full time. It's hard, but this is what I chose. But I'm finding that you learn new things every day, especially I didn't know much in the beginning, but starting a business and building that clientele, building that trust in the community or with people, it is a hard road. But I think I was built like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Excuse me. But yeah, okay. You want to say anything else about black business? I didn't know what else. Yeah, I told the family story. I appreciate it. I didn't know. All right. There was a question I wanted to ask before we was done. What? Oh yeah, I remember. Okay. Now I think I was 6 when when your dad passed. So I do remember a few things, but obviously he was grandpa to me, which is different than dad to you. So, excuse me. Tell me, what was a time when you were a kid, and I'm talking about before teenage, 12 or under, where you got in some of that big trouble with your dad. Tell me about that time, one of them times. Or did you get in trouble? Maybe you didn't get in trouble.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I was one of them kids that I got in trouble once when I was in the first grade because I didn't fight.
Okay.
And then I turned around and beat up the kid on purpose. And I got in trouble again.
Get in trouble for that. You can't be no bully.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So and at that point, and my dad was away in the Air Force then. At that point, I said, you know what? I don't need no spankings. So I'm going to avoid, which is what I pretty much did from then on. I mean, there wasn't really, after that, there wasn't really anything except for, I can remember one time when we first moved out west, and this boy named Mike Wisnick went at McKinley Grade School in Spokane.
Keep talking.
And he would come to school, and all the kids liked him because he had all this gum, right? It was my first time dealing with white kids in an integrated situation. The kids would always flock to him because he had this gum. So I asked him, where you get the gum from? And he goes, well, I go to the store, and I'll show you how. And so I went to the store with him one day, which is right around the corner from the house. It was a Safeway. He went in and he stole all that stuff. So I said, I think I might try that. That might be a good thing.
What year was this?
I think I was in the 4th grade. Yeah, I was in the 4th grade.
No, I mean like on calendar year, like 4th grade. So that's
maybe 56.
Oh man, you can't be doing that, man.
58, something like that.
Come on, man.
But
you can't be stealing around whites.
Hey, I was just living with him. I mean, I just, So I go in with my dad and my mom. They go in, and it's like I said, it's around the corner.
Yeah.
So we go in there, and they're buying groceries, and I'm like, ha. So I'm busy stuffing my pockets with gum. Shit, I got so much stuff that when we got up to the counter, and I'm standing there, and I'm sure it was overflowing too. I probably couldn't see it. My pants just started to itch down. And it got about halfway down by my waist, and the clerk had been watching me. Comes out and grabs me, pulls me up, and goes, look to my dad. Now I got a whooping then.
Yeah.
But it was so never happened again. No.
Okay, now it's funny because was that your only time stealing from the store?
Yeah.
Okay, now you remember when Megan was stealing?
Yeah.
From Bartell's?
Yep.
Well, how did the whippings compare? Because she was also a girl, so I'm sure you were just nicer off GP. But did Grandpa get you real good, or do you feel like you got Megan good enough that she never? Megan's a heathen, so. But.
Well, it was good enough to where I didn't want to do it again.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm just gonna tell you. I remember the day my sister went on her heists.
The big heist.
Yeah, her and a neighbor of ours, also a white friend,
a Christian.
Mm-hmm. Well, back then, I don't know.
Well,
now, yeah, but went up to the Bartell's, which is right next to our complex, like 4 or 5 times the same afternoon. Stole each time, and the final time, I don't know, she just got cocky and sloppy, but sister had one of them shirts with a shirt pocket and just had some earrings just hanging out, tag and everything. Got caught. I remember being at home, outside playing, and seeing my neighbor's mom rushing out with her purse, running down the thing, and then I remember seeing you come out of our apartment, walking, just kind of huffing, and I was like, must be trouble.
Looks like trouble.
Oh boy! And I remember he came back. Everybody was crying. Well, the girls were, and go inside. And I remember our kitchen window was open, which was right there. Heard you yelling. Heard Megan crying. Heard a faint like a belt sound, and then all I heard was, "This ain't no belt." You picked up my karate belt. See, that's how I know you was trying to go easy on her. He picked up my karate belt, tried to spank her, and Megan, being Megan, she'd be finessing the game. Ow, ow. But you wasn't trying to see that day. Because all I heard was, "This ain't no belt." So I was like, ooh, she gonna get it. Oh, speaking of which, have you ever, now you're the oldest of 7.
Yeah.
Well, including Pat, right?
Yeah.
Oldest of 7.
9.
9?
Yeah.
I wasn't even close. Why are you like, oldest of 7? Yeah, 9. Like, I wasn't even close. Okay. Have you ever found joy in your siblings getting whoopings?
Yeah.
All right, give me one of your top.
Oh, always the top, because she was never my sister Paulette never understood that you can't just do crazy shit, get away with it. She never got it. So me and the next one, the Buster, we would always go, oh yeah, you're gonna get it. We're gonna wait, and we just sit at the house and wait. Here they come. Girl, did you? And she'd be under the bed because she would run, right? But she'd be entertaining. We'd be like, Mom, can we get some popcorn?
Yeah, she was the wild one. Wait, was she the wild one out of the group of y'all?
Yeah. Well, she was wild for a girl. William was wild for a boy.
Okay. Well, what age? At what age did he become wild? Because from what I hear amongst y'all, Aunt Paulette was pretty wild from the beginning.
Yeah.
But when did he become wild?
Right around 13. I mean, he was rest his soul. One of the things he was mixed up in drugs before we even thought about it. And he wasn't just mixed up, he was selling.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He's out there.
Yeah.
In them streets.
Yeah, and going to after hours and getting caught and all that other crazy stuff.
It's weird, man, because I only knew him in a certain light.
Right.
Even it's weird because there's a picture of him and Rolando, and I mean Rolando's much older than me, So it's like,
yeah, I used to babysit you.
Yeah, I mean, but so it's weird. I mean, I wasn't even born when this picture was taken. So, but to see Uncle William just even physically, just this. I was like, it's like this skinny dude with the fro and the whole strap with the beard. And I'm like, bro, you look like a drug dealer from the 70s. That's what you look like in these pictures. And the glasses, which I'm sure were prescription, but they always had this brown tint. So it looked like he was, hiding from the law type stuff. And I'm like, boy, man, I wish I would have known what it was like then. Him and Uncle Mario. I've seen very few pictures of young Uncle Mario.
Yeah.
I've seen him as a kid. But any kind of teenage years, nothing. But I saw one where he had a Jerry curl.
Yeah. And
I was intrigued.
Yeah.
Because I've only known him as bald or maybe a small fro.
Hey, I remember, and he had just turned 21. I remember us going to a party, me, him, and William.
Mm-hmm.
All with our little Jerry curls, right? Walking up to the door, knock, knock, knock. Yeah? And I remember saying, we are the Dudley brothers.
I want that. Bruh, that would be lit. Oh, man.
But that only happened once.
Hey, man, you got it.
Yeah.
Did y'all didn't take no picture, did you?
Nah. I'm sure we didn't.
Dang, I don't think I've seen Uncle William with a Jerry curl. I saw the one picture of Uncle Mario. I grew up with yours. I remember yours. But yeah. So those two were the wild ones. Who would you say was the quiet one?
Me.
Actually, I could see that.
I mean, I was the one going to the library every day, having 12, 13 different books. That's where I get the thing now where I can do more than one thing at once because I'm reading all these books, watching all these shows, doing all, and my mind just.
Man, no. Never much of a reader myself, which is weird because I am a writer.
Oh, speaking of writing, I found something of yours. I meant to bring it. I forgot.
What's that?
And I know it's you because it's Chris. And then it's a B- on it or something, I think. And you, in cursive, your name, but then you wrote some other stuff. And then you wrote a little verse about not. It was anyway. I knew it was you.
Okay. B-? Was this an official like a school thing?
Yeah.
Okay, look at me out here. I graduated with 3.68, man. Get off me. But, if I said Chris, like, in regular letters and then in cursive, this had to be an elementary thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's a good place to call it an episode.
All right.
We thank y'all for joining us.
Thanks.
All right, let me say that again. We thank y'all for joining us at Like Father, Like Son.
Like father, like son.
Please like and share the video, guys. We'd appreciate it. We will holler at y'all later.
Later.
Peace.